Okay. HUBTEL issue is something that I've already referred to the Attorney General. So your lawyers, our auditors over here, when we get to court, then you guys resolve all those things. You see, you did it as single source. Was the board involved in approving this thing?
Yes.
If the board was involved, they will also be in court to explain why they approved this single source thing. The board should be added to it. When the Attorney General gets it, they will call the board also. So, sir, this is out of our hands.
And
Just
Mr.
let's
Chair,
move
I
on.
just want to add that we have negotiated the rate, the fee that HUBTEL charges for us, and we have reduced that from 3% to 1.6%.
Okay,
we are
sir.
still working to see whether we can have further gains.
Sir, the simple thing is, let's do the right thing. Some of us, when we get into office, we feel so big that we want to do whatever we want. Forget about the law. And then when there's a problem, then we are caught with our shoes off. The next infraction is on paragraph 193, and Honorable Eleplem will take care of that one.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can you please tell the committee and Ghanaians watching us how our taxpayers' money worth 5,144,246 was used to purchase 6,096 units of prepaid meters that have been abandoned. Meanwhile, new meters continue to be procured and issued under the loss reduction program. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, we started implementing the BXC project sometime in 2007, thereabout. The meters we installed those days, we needed to keep spares for replacement. So these meters were spares that were kept so that if any customer reported a faulty meter, we could go in and replace them. Over the period, technology has changed. So we've moved now to new and better meters. And let me also say that the prepaid meters, ECG didn't start using prepaid meters till 2005, thereabout. So it was a new technology for us. Okay. So technology has moved on, and we are now using MMS meters. And those spares we kept, apparently we kept too many of them, so we have not used them. We have received a report. We commissioned an evaluation of the stock, and the conclusion is that they are obsolete and we should not use them, and we cannot use them.
Mr. Chair, can you bring the corporates to book, because they have caused financial loss to the state? So if you can add their names to the Attorney General. Thank you.
So the 5.1 million Ghana cedis meters that you purchased is obsolete now.
Mr. Chair, it was not 5.1 that we purchased. We purchased a lot, and we installed a lot, the majority of them. These were spares, additional meters. So the value was much more than this, but they were used. And the 5.1, yes, they were used.
Now, if these ones are obsolete, does it mean that the ones that you gave to customers are also obsolete?
Yes, and we are replacing them.
And you are replacing them?
Yes.
Would there be any cost to the customer?
No, when we replace an existing meter, we don't charge anything to the customer.
Sir, I wish you could have something called secret shoppers. I wish you could have something called secret shoppers. If you could disguise yourself to go to ECG and tell them you need a meter, You will find out whether they are charging them or not charging them. The next infraction is on paragraph 198, and Honorable Enim will take care of that one.
Thank you, Chair. This infraction is quite similar to the procurement breaches we've been looking at. So this had to do with payment of additional costs for items procured, and it's to the tune of $17,092,277 US. The auditors, in their review of some purchase orders, realized that ECG made a payment of $30,730,260 US to various local suppliers for items which could have been purchased or procured from the original manufacturers at a cost of $13,637,983 US. The interesting part of it is that when these items arrived, ECG themselves had to now pay for duties and demurrage after paying these monies to these local suppliers. And it's quite interesting. It's a tall list of local companies. And here the auditors try to do an analysis of how much it would have cost us if we had bought from the original source, whereas ECG decided to pay to these local contractors. And for some of them, Mr. Chair, it's quite interesting that for something that we could have purchased for just $643,000 US, we purchased from a local supplier for $2,073,000. That's the additional cost alone is $1,430,000. For another item which we could have purchased for $1.4 million, we purchased from a local supplier $3.7 million. Additional cost of $2,211,000, and a number of them. So the auditor's recommendation was in two folds. One, that going forward, ECG deals directly with these original manufacturers, and the second one is to apply the sanctions per Section 92 of the Public Procurement Act. ECG, first I would like to find out what you have done on the first recommendation, and two, steps you have taken on the second recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I believe that this happened because most of these things were sole sourced. And we have changed from that. We are applying the Public Procurement Act. We have started competitive procurement. I must say, though, that not every manufacturer of the materials and equipment we used is interested in supplying directly to us. We have suppliers here who reach out to them and take on the risk of doing business in Ghana. And so not everyone manufacturer wants to supply to us. The cure to that is competitive procurement. Now, when you advertise the opportunity, if the manufacturer is interested, they will participate in the bid. If a supplier wants to be a middleman and is interested, they will also participate in the bid. But at the end of the day, you get the best price out of the competition. And that's what we've decided to do. And if you've been monitoring the newspapers, we've advertised some of the opportunities in the newspapers. So it's competitive procurement using the Public Procurement Act.
Mr. MD, before maybe you go to the second, how you've dealt with the second recommendation, I want to understand something here. Do you know the rationale behind ECG themselves paying the duties and the demurrage for these items when we could have gone there ourselves to purchase? But now we give it to a local contractor who, in practice, should just deliver to ECG office. But now we pay duty and demurrage on these same items. And can you also tell the committee how much duty was paid for all these items?
Mr. Chair, when you procure items, the price you pay depends on the risk that you are passing on to the supplier or the manufacturer. So the price is a measure of risk allocation. And when you are importing goods, you have the Incoterms that define how much risk is passed on to the supplier, and therefore what the responsibility of the supplier is. When the more risk you pass on, the higher the price. So ECG, because we are big and we import a lot of things, we have a shipping department that is licensed to clear goods. So we can do that ourselves because we are big and we import a lot of things. So we try to reduce the price by taking on some of the responsibilities. Okay.
MD, I want you to stop there. So we are looking at the risk in ECG procuring directly from the original suppliers as against us procuring from a local manufacturer. But here we are looking at the additional cost. Can we say that 1,430,400,000, which was an additional cost per one of the orders, was the risk we're paying for? And then we now go ahead and pay for duty and demurrage on these same items. So if we are looking at cost basis, something we could have gotten 643,000, we decide to buy at 2,073,000, and we still go ahead and pay duties, clear them, and this is still a cost-effective way of procuring items.
Mr. Chair, I did not justify the price. I tried to explain why sometimes we choose to clear the goods ourselves. But the price matter, I dealt with it in terms of competitive procurement. Okay.
Thank you, MD. So, MD, my last question would be, how have you dealt with these officers that were involved per Section 92 of the Procurement Act?
Mr. Chair, most of the officers are no longer with us, so we would depend on your guidance here.
Okay, Chair, I think we are in your hands now.
Thank you very much, sir. If you read paragraph 201 of this offense, the auditors are saying that the above situation resulted in a loss of 17 million US dollars, which could have been used to offset power producers' liability under the cash waterfall mechanism. The 17 million was excess that we paid. Now, the auditor's recommendation, we recommend to management of ECG to deal directly with the original manufacturers, local and foreign, and desist from splitting procurement orders to local suppliers to safeguard the financial resources of the state. We further recommended that the officers whose actions or inactions cause the infraction should be sanctioned in accordance with Section 92 of the Public Procurement Act. Now, just to let you know, I have a copy of the Public Procurement Act. So the offenses relating to procurement. 1, any person who contravenes any provision of this act commits an offense, and where no penalty has been provided for the offense, the person is liable on summary conviction to a fine not exceeding 1,000 penalty units, or a term of imprisonment not exceeding 5 years, or both. Auditors, what is a penalty unit? How much is a penalty unit? I think probably.
I think the last time I checked, I have to be sure, but I think it was 12 cities.
12
So when you
cities.
multiply it.
Okay. So Without, okay, thank you very much. So 1,000 penalty unit. 2, the following shall also constitute offenses under this act: entering or attempting to enter into a conclusive agreement, whether enforceable or not, with any other supplier or contractor where the prices quoted in their respective tenders, proposals, or quotations are or would be higher than would have been the case has there not been collusion between the persons concerned. B, directly or indirectly influencing in any manner or attempting to influence in any manner the procurement process to obtain an unfair advantage in the award of the procurement contract. C, altering any procurement document with intent to influence the outcome of a tender process, and this includes but is not limited to: A, forged arithmetic correction, or B, insertion of documents such as bid security or tax clearance certificate which were not submitted at bid opening, and D, request for clarification in a manner not permitted under this act. We are working with Auditor General, and they have recommended we sanction you under Section 92. So this case also goes to the Attorney General for prosecution. ECG, you are setting a record over here. You see, management response at the time of audit was, management responded that they would consider the recommendations to deal directly with foreign manufacturers. Does it take an auditor to come and tell you that, hey, do it this way, before you do it that way? Hey, I bet if you gave your money to somebody in your office, go and buy me a watch, you gave the person 20 cedis, and the person came back and said, I couldn't buy a watch because it was too expensive. You would sit down and ask the person, hey, how much was the fish? How much was the wole? How much was the egg? Before you give an additional money. But Abansika, $17 million. So you go to court. The next infraction is on paragraph 204. And Honorable Digaf Pato will take that one.
Thank you, Chair. MD, this infraction is about an abandoned renovation project that from September 25th, 2017 to May 2018, which is 8 months duration, that project should have been completed. A renovation work at Tema Regional Office, which was awarded to Premier Innovative Limited. And the total sum cost $1,453,555. And then $1,248,787 was the total amount accrued. And then out of this, 1,114,000 cedis were paid to the contractor. As at the time of the audit, the project has not been completed. And so the auditors recommended that you put expedite action to make sure that this project is completed for you. So I want to know, how far have you done with this? And number 2, has the project been completed and put to proper use? Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry to say that the project has not yet been completed. The project delayed essentially because they were working while we still needed the office. So it slowed down the work, and prices escalated, and the contractor couldn't do the work. We have repackaged the project, and we are about to award it to a contractor to complete.
Chair, if I heard him right, he told the committee that the project has been repackaged and then will be re-awarded to the same contractor or a different contractor. And after repackaging, how much was the cost as at now?
So we had a tender. We had a tender among 5 contractors to do it. So it was not the same contractor that won the project. But they could not be awarded before we came in, the new management came in. And we think that we should go by the Public Procurement Act to now do public procurement, competitive procurement, repackage it, and send. So we started that process. The estimated cost now is about 5.4 million Ghana cedis.
Chair, there's something. 1.4 million now to 5 points. I leave it to you.
Yeah, so the original contract was 1.4 million. You paid 1.1 out of it. And then they revised it to 2.4 million. And so it's now it's 5.4 million. But the work was 75% completed at that time.
Mr. Chair, when we went in, we realized that some of the work that had been done has deteriorated further. The building has deteriorated further. This was 6 years ago. And you're not using the facility, it deteriorates. So that's the tragedy.
What was the main reason for the contractor not completing it? What was the main reason? Or what is the real reason?
It's a combination of delays occasioned by, let me say, us, and also by the contractor. Us because we didn't hand over a free building to the contractor. And then prices also escalated, so the contractor couldn't complete the work at the price, at the current, the then price. So it's a combination of factors.
At the time of the contract, didn't you know that you had to leave the building alone for the contractor to do his work?
Yeah, if we were doing that today, we will not do the same thing. We will not do it the same way.
I'm sorry?
So if we are doing that work today, we will not do it the same way we did it 6 years ago.
So this time you kick everybody out of the building.
So what we've done is to move. Right now, no one can use the building, so they are in the canteen.
Good.
Okay. So we need the building ASAP, and we will make provision for that, providing temporary containers for people to work while the building is free for the contractor to work.
Let me move to the next infraction, ACG. The next infraction is on paragraph 209, and Honorable Cletus will take care of that one.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, this infraction has to do with items purchased not accounted for to the tune of 4,544,503 Ghana cedis. Chairman, items were purchased in the following offices: Accra East, Accra West, Ashanti West, and Ashanti East, to the amount that I mentioned earlier. And these items could not be traced. We are talking these items including vehicles and Samsung tablets, 100 of them, to the amount I mentioned. ECG failed to support the payment advice with store receipt advice. So you have the tables below. So what I want to ask is that can you confirm, because the auditors are saying that we could not ascertain the receipt, movement, and the usage of the items. This indicates lack of transparency for utilization of the funds and could lead to inventory mismanagement. So the question I want to ask is, where are these items? Where are these items? That's my first question. And they also demanded distribution lists. The auditors demanded distribution lists for the 100 tablets procured.
Chair, at the time of the audit, these items were not passed through our store system, but subsequent to that, the items were passed through the store system and necessary documents have been firmed up with it. Then as to where the materials are, in fact, the materials originally were delivered directly to the user units, and that's why we had the challenge. So the materials were delivered to the units or persons that were going to use it.
Let me, ECG, when we respond to infractions like this and the public are hearing, they will not take us serious. When we respond to infractions like this, you see, you procure items, and the items came to your unit, and they were not recorded. So who received the items? When you procure items, it ended up, it is the stores. It ends up at the stores. So if the stores have not received the item, where were the items sitting? So, and the items, you said the items were with your offices at the various units, and yet they were not in the hands of the stores. So where were these items at the time the audit was taking place? Where were the items? You see, you gave explanation, but I'm just worried that the public and all of us are not proud about the discussions around this platform. It's not good. Nobody will manage your own company like this. Nobody. All of us sitting here. Nobody will do that. So let's at least. So, Chairman, that's why the last time Honorable Muntaka came here, he said that he wished that those who usually take these actions should be summoned, not my friend the MD who has just been appointed and he's here answering all the questions. You know. So Chairman, I'll leave it to you, but I'm not impressed about the responses, particularly what the auditors have captured. It's bad. Everybody, we all know procurement. When you procure items, it ends up at the stores. And the auditors can testify that they were not in the store ledgers. The items were there, but they were not in the store ledgers. It means there was something fishy. There's something fishy. Otherwise, every item procured ends up at the stores. Thank you. Chairman, I'll leave it to you. But it's unfortunate my friend is on the hot seat. The former MD should have been here.
Have those items been identified now?
Auditors can confirm or otherwise.
Yeah.
Yes, and the list has been provided to the auditors.
Yeah, I need to find out from the auditors if what you are telling us is okay. Auditors, could you confirm, please?
Yes, Honorable Chair. So subsequently, they provided the SRS and the distribution list to attest to the fact that these items were received and duly distributed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next infraction is on paragraph 215, and Honorable Frankie Ebo will take care of that one.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This borders on non-competitive procurement to the tune of 2 million Ghana cedis. So I'm sure this one to be added to the list that will be sent to the Attorney General. But my worry is that there seems to be some kind of outstanding misunderstanding between ECG and the auditors. ECG, the auditors are saying that ECG, you come under a public procurement authority, and for that matter, you are under the Public Procurement Act, Act 663 as amended. ECG is saying that they are not under PPA. So I just want to get understanding so that we know, moving forward, we know where we stand. So, MD, what is the status now?
Mr. Chair, there has been a lot of legal discussions around ECG's compliance with the PPA Act, whether ECG is covered by the Act or not. There has been some Supreme Court decisions cited and other appeal court decisions cited to support the contention that ECG is not covered, but only to the extent that it's using public funds. People have raised the questions, what is public funds? When we collect tariff, is it public funds? The issue is we've passed that point because the minister and the board and management have all decided that we should use the Public Procurement Act. Okay. Unless there's a substantive decision, court decision on the ruling, we will comply with the Act. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So the matter is settled for now. There's a test case. In the earlier answer you gave in respect of the abandoned project, you said that you are repackaging the project and award it to a contractor who can do the work. You mentioned that 5 contractors were invited. So did you use the Public Procurement Act in this particular procurement?
Mr. Chair, the Public Procurement Act allows for restrictive tendering, but you need to seek permission, approval to engage in restrictive tendering, and we did not. So we ruled that we did not comply, and that's why we have decided to re-tender the work.
What have you done so far in respect of the retendering? I just want to test what you said in respect of you complying with the Act. So if what you're doing now is in compliance with the PPA or the Public Procurement Act, Act 663, then we will know that you're complying. Then that will be, then the case is closed. So what actually are you doing in respect of repackaging this particular contract?
Mr. Chair, that tender was conducted and concluded in October 2024. The contract was not signed before we came in, and we decided we will not sign it. We've applied to the Public Procurement Authority. They will not give us any approval on anything yet until we receive the commitment authorization from the Finance Minister. We have applied for that through the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition. They have forwarded that application to the ministry. We are waiting for authorization.
Well done, thank you. So finally, what was the content of the application you're seeking at PPA? Is it a restricted single source or what?
We have a number of requests that were sent to them. In this,
let's restrict ourselves to this particular one. Yeah, I mean in just this one, not
no, for this
the
particular
rest.
one, we haven't sent any request to them yet because the ones we sent earlier, they have told us they will not give us any approval until we have the procurement commitment authorization. So we've held on.
So in fact, the abandoned project remains abandoned. for now?
For now, today, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
ECG, the recommendation is that sanctions under Section 92 of the Public Procurement Act 2003, Act 663 as amended, should be applied to the officers involved. We also recommended that the management should always adhere to the provisions of the Procurement Act. And management's response was, yeah, we collect money from government, but hey, we are not, we are on our own. I'm adding this one to the Attorney General's cases. So, clerk, keep added to it, and auditors, note, they are going to meet the Attorney General. And all those people who were involved. Now, when it gets to Attorney General, make sure that you get the list of those who were involved, and they will make sure they get them. If they are Ghanaians, we will get them. If we've given them jobs before, we will get them. You can't create all this mess over here and then ask us to pay additional tariffs. No way.
MD, this internally generated manual, the manual you prepared internally, have you started using it or you haven't started?
It was approved last year by the board.
Board of ECG or PPA?
Sorry, ECG's board. Because at the time, the contention was that we were not covered by the Act. Now that we've decided to go by the Act, our manual is irrelevant because the only document the board of the authority recognizes is the Act. So the manual is no longer applicable.
Oh, so that's it. Thank you. That's it. That's fine. Thank you.
Chairman, I just want to reiterate the point that there is a lot of rot in ECG. And then, Managing Director and the Minister, what strategies or measures are you putting in place to curb this gargantuan rot and stealing and corruption at the ECG? It's becoming too much. And then one public interest question. Ghanaians want me to ask you, the ECG boss, some private citizens have written to ECG demanding that the lands and houses of some of the substations being relocated. Your substations need to be relocated, and these were substations at the cantonment, the Vanguard High in cantonment. What are you doing about that? Are you relocating? What are you doing to protect those land? And also, where is always Dumso in Kata Enclave and Denu area always? Because he doesn't like you. Every day, I have to be calling the minister. There is Kata Enclave and Denu always light off. What is happening?
Minister, is there a confirmation that Dumso is back? Is Dumso back? Please.
Absolutely not.
This is quite worrying. I mean, the people of Keta cannot cater in other places. Yes. That's quite interesting.
Honorable Chair, absolutely. Dumso, we don't have it. We don't even know what Dumso is now, as far as the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition is concerned. Keta Denu has some challenges, and one, they have some technical challenges with the lines, which the ministry has actually considered. It has to do with the network line to those areas. It is on the, I'm not very technical, is it a 69 kVA, whilst now we've improved it to 161. So in their case, even when an issue happens and you go and improve the system with whichever means, the next day you see that the problem has occurred again, because once the system is improved, consumption within the area also goes up. So we have noted it, and it's part of our programs or the project that we want to undertake within next year, where we are going to look at the transmission lines from for the Eastern Corridor, which is part of it. So for now, we are only doing some remedial works, but the major work will be done within next year.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, well, it is not in the new and his place, Kita only. Consistently for about 2 months now, and you name and it environs experience a lot of what you claim you haven't seen, the doomso. Consistently, every weekend when I go, I sleep in the dark. So, Minister, this is something that you should look at. We don't want to do politics with it. This is an issue that needs to be addressed. Just last weekend, over the weekend, I was there. I was there on Friday, and usually it happens around 10 p.m., and then you sleep in the dark till the next day. And it's not just Etiwa East constituency. It happens in Fantiakwa South. It happens in Etiwa West. So it is not an isolated case. It's quite a number of the constituencies in the Buakwa region, and I think you should look at that. We keep calling the Tafo substation because we are told that is where we belong to, and a part of it also is in Nkoko, but consistently, sometimes it's a 24-hour thing. And so I believe that as we've had the opportunity to meet ECG and the Minister for Energy and Green Transition, we should make our case to you to see how best you can solve this problem. You claim it's something you haven't seen. It is not the doomsday you have seen, but we think that it is whatever you want to describe it. All we want is for you to see how best you can address this for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, we have noted that all the areas that have those issues, ECG has taken notice. And Honorable Chair, you would agree with me. I think this one, once you have brought to my attention, just as the other one you brought to my attention, and I made sure it was fully resolved, this one too, we'll make sure that we'll resolve it.
I must state that it is true that the other time we're having some serious challenges with the electricity in our district, Etiwa East District Office. And I drew your attention to it, and you fixed it for us. So I believe that just as I have drawn your attention to these things in these 3 or 4 Ebuakwa regions, you go ahead and do it again. A reset is changing everything, but I don't think that is what we are asking for. We are asking that you fix the problem. It's not about semantics, but it's about fixing the problem for us. You've done it before, and so I know you do it again. Thank you.
Yeah, Madam, just to let you know, it's not doomso, it's doomsie.
Thank you. Thank you very much. ECGMD, so with all the procurement issues that we saw from your end, I need this clarification, and it's for the purposes for this committee's report and also for the general public. HUBTEL and their mobilization office at your end, has it helped?
Thank you, Madam Chair. ECG has moved to cashless, and we will not go back. So the concept is a good one, and we should all support it. In fact, because of that, most customers today, in the comfort of their bedroom, 2 a.m., you can buy your power, okay? And we are not going back. And we are deepening that, moving, transforming our operations. We're implementing an ERP that, we've been talking about transparency. We are improving that. Internal transparency, the way we work, we're changing that. And it's because we are in the age of AI. We can use technology to improve how we work and to improve our accountability. So we're seriously pursuing that. So we are not going back to the old days.
Well, thank you for this honesty. And I ask because this is an indigenous Ghanaian IT firm doing excellently well in the market. And it's important that we try as much as possible to protect them. So once they are doing a good work, continue to refine what the services that they provide for you so that we can protect our own. Thank you very much.
You haven't heard,
No, with transformer.
Where,
Okay, with the, yes. But before then, with the HUBTEL issue, you know, the MD has indicated the concept is good. It is just the process in which they were put on, they were actually enrolled, which wasn't done right. But even with currently, their rates have been negotiated, and I think that if we should follow up with it, it will help us. Thank you.
So we can have something that is good for us, but we can also question the price. Okay, thank you.
The question about moving a transformer. Yes.
The land. Sorry. Mr. Chair, my Director of Operations just confirmed that it has come to our notice, so we will work on it. But let me also say that demand in Ghana is growing, and especially in Accra. And we will need land and we need space to reinforce our network to supply every customer. We will need to put our equipment somewhere. So we need to work with the public, or we will need the public to work with us so we can provide reliable, consistent power to supply our industries and businesses. Okay.
ECG, you are discharged.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Oh, Madam, sir, hold on for a minute. There's another question that I missed.
Yeah, few months ago, there was this issue in circulation alleging that about 1,300 plus containers containing cables were missing or were detected missing from your outfit. How true is that issue?
Mr. Chair, I'm not sure that report is correct. Not from our outfit. I think the honorable member is referring to the report that the committee set up by the Minister for Energy and Green Transition could not trace a certain number of containers, 1,300, not from our outfit, but from the ports. Okay, I just want to clarify that. And subsequent to that report, we have worked with the port authorities and with national security and with the ministry, and we have traced all the containers. And we have also shared that report with the public that all the containers have been traced. I gave an analogy the last time, and I will try to do that again. That if I put 2,000 Ghana cedis on my wardrobe, and I go out, and I come back, and I find that it's only 1,000 that is there, I will say that I'm missing 1,000 Ghana cedis. But if my wife comes back home and said, oh, I took your money when I was going to the market, then I have found my 1,000 that I said was missing. So we couldn't trace the containers, and later we set up a committee and we found the containers. Okay, so we didn't say it was stolen. We couldn't trace them. Thank you.
So
just to add to it, I think this question, currently there's a committee that is ensuring the evacuation of all the identified containers. And I happen to chair that committee. So we are in the process of evacuating the identified containers. The truth is that where the containers were to be located, which the committee reported as cannot trace it, we've seen some of the containers, but at different terminals. So just as he said, if the container was to be at maybe, is it Aviance or, and it is seen in a different terminal, we can at this point say that you have it missing. It's been found, but initially, when it was reported, they were not being located. But now, because they have to do another audit with the support of the Ghana Port and Harbour Authority, currently we've been able to evacuate over 1,000 containers and its items, and we are still in the process of evacuating all of them. We are working with the Ministry of Finance, the Ghana Port and Harbour Authority, the National Security, the Police Service, and all other relevant agencies to make sure that those that we have, and then ECG itself, those that we've identified, we should be able to send them to a location where, at the end of the day, we are yet to come out. Officially, we'll come out and with a report when we are done with evacuation. Thank you.
Please, what measure are you putting in place to ensure that this doesn't reoccur?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the question was, why will we import things that we needed, and the things arrive at the ports and we will not clear them? We have changed that. So every month we set money aside. We know the containers that we are expecting to arrive. We make provision when they arrive. Within the 14 days allowed, we take them out. That's what we're doing now. Every month, we don't have a lot of money, we're cash strapped, but it's cheaper for us to borrow money to clear the goods than leave them at the port. The demurrage is much higher than the interest we will pay. Thank you.
In addition, the ministry have also applied that ECG should only order for items that they need. In the past, we realized that there were over procurement, and some of the items that they procured at that point was not needed. So they also didn't see the need to immediately even evacuate them from the port. So now it is need-based. You only order for what you need. And with the Ministry of Finance, is a commitment authorization, I think that is also going to help to check the procurement processes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Minister, you and your team, you are discharged.
Thank you very much.
Now, we're calling Bui Power. Minister, you are not discharged. It's ECG. Okay. Now, Bui Power. Okay, Bui Power, have you taken the oath, please? Okay, Bui Power, could you introduce yourself to the committee, please? We are still live on television, so please.
I am Engineer Kowedu Akosam, the acting CEO of Bui Power Authority.
My name is Eric Sam. I'm the finance director. My name is Franklin Nana Adai, head of legal.
I am
Harrison Kweku Edifo, Deputy Director of Finance.
My name is Victoria Tabika, Head of Internal Audit.
Okay, Bui Power would start your infractions on paragraph 332, and Honorable Bauer will take care of that one.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. B Power, your infraction relates to overdue power generation bills, and the amount is frightening. 729,776,253 United States dollars. And the auditors noted that you supply power to ECG, and the amount that the ECG is supposed to pay the Blue Power Authority in terms of your receivables, consistently, every year they reduce the amount of money that they are supposed to pay. And per the agreement, they are required to pay bills to B Power, at least. And in 2020, for instance, they paid 57% of the invoice amount. They decreased this in 2021 to 34%. And then in 2022, they further came down to 23%. So it means that every year they were just coming down. And as of now, they owe you a total amount of 729.7 million US dollars. So the auditor's recommendation is that you should liaise with the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Energy and management of ECG to ensure that the payments are made to significantly reduce the long overdue receivables from ECG. Can you walk us through the actions that you've taken with respect to this recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Consistently, we've been engaging the Ministry of Energy and the Ministry of Finance, and also the cash waterfall mechanism team, those responsible for the cash waterfall mechanism. But as has been explained today, sometimes as an organization, you have little control over this. But the good news is that as we speak, cash waterfall collection has improved, such that this year we are recording an average of about 53%. So that is the situation today. So we hope that the economy will be good and we will keep receiving better receipts from ECG. So that's where we are. Thank you.
I keep wondering, ECG, they've left the seat. They should have been here to answer this question. I mean, because if the cash waterfall mechanism, you are supposed, at least there's an arrangement that at least you are supposed to pay a certain percentage. And consistently every year you come down. Meanwhile, you are selling the power. So it's a problem. So for now, is there any arrangements that